everyone, welcome back to a Chandler's channel. I'm Tracy, your host, and today's session is our intuitive vlog on karma. So if that's what you're here for, welcome. We'll get to that in just a moment with Whitehawk. So karma, there's many people who speak of karma. There are those who believe it, there are those who don't believe it. And I think there was even at one point in my life I didn't really believe in karma. But when you think of it as what goes around comes around, it is very true, and I've seen the effects of karma in the sense of, so if you say something, if you gossip about someone, say, then I've seen the effects almost immediately. I remember this one time thinking, wow, that is just so fast, and people don't see it, right? And it wasn't me at this time. I was watching a friend go through this and the drama, and they were gossiping whether they realized it or wanted to admit it or not. And then almost like 15 minutes later, you know, they found out people were gossiping about them, saying malicious things about them. And I thought, well, you know what, that there in a nutshell is what I would deem karma. So be aware, be careful of your words. If you know, for not the golden rule that you want people to treat you as you would treat them, well, for the fact that if you don't want anybody to speak badly about you, then don't speak badly about them, because that's how it works, right? And a lot of people don't get it. They don't see it. They don't see their shortcomings, right? That's where Jesus says, forgive them, Father, for they do not know, or they do not see, right? They don't see their shortcomings. So that's how I would deem karma, but I'm sure that Whitehawk will enlighten us with what he has to say about karma. So let's go get him. Indeed, he said, karma, karma, karma. It is an interesting subject, children. And so we've joined him, and we're all sitting around the campfire with him. And some are on long logs, you know, hanging out. Others are in Muskoka chairs. But he is roasting a huge campfire marshmallow as he speaks to us. And we listen intently, waiting to see what Whitehawk will say about karma. He says, indeed, karma is a very interesting subject. He says, for there are many thoughts out there regarding what karma is. And so what I would say to you is this, that there is the notion of that what you believe indeed will come true. So then I see like a boomerang head out, you know, there's a boomerang, and so in other words, you shoot it out there and it comes back to you. And he says, indeed, it does very much have a boomerang effect, but also if you believe that it has a boomerang effect, then indeed it will. So we're all kind of like shifting around, like, well, we're not really kind of liking what he just said, and we're not really understanding it. And he goes, well, let me take it to what this one Tracy said to you previously. He says, she said that at one point she didn't believe in karma. So therefore then, it was not. Okay, we're still listening, trying to understand. He goes, but then she said that she believed that what the boomerang effect, she believed, he says, that indeed which you say will come back to you. He goes, so indeed, it does. So for me, in speaking with you children, there are no hard and fast rules with this so-called karma. Believe what you may, believe what you like. But the only real truth in karma is, how are you behaving in life? Are your thoughts pure? Are your actions pure? Are you finding that you are being kind to people? Or are you finding you are being mean and aggressive to people? For indeed, what does occur in your life is actually what will come to you, and is indeed what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, what the strangeness is in your mind. So yes, indeed, karma is all about you. And he's laughing, and we're kind of laughing. He goes, yes, it's the time where we can say, yes, it really is all about me. So if you do not want bad things to happen to you, then indeed do not do bad things to others. It is pure and simple. If you do not want drama to come into your life, then do not put drama out. He says, my children, it is a pure and simple rule. But everyone's like, well, you just said there were no hard and fast rules. He says, no, but I did just explain to you that, again, it is about what you put forth into the world. He says, and this is not a new concept. We have spoken about this, he says, before. He says, no, we haven't spoken about thoughts and how they are pure energy. And he says, indeed, how they can affect our day-to-day operations and indeed affect our body. He says, and indeed, he says, that would be a good next session, he says, that we could speak about our thoughts. And so everyone's still sitting around the campfire and we're ingesting what he says. And so one person kind of puts their hand up and says, but Whitehawk, so I still don't quite understand. So you said there's no hard and fast rules, but at the same time, it is what we put out there will come back to us. Yes, indeed, that is pretty well the hard and fast of it. He says, but you just said there's no hard and fast of it. And Whitehawk says, he says, I did. But really, there are so many thoughts out there as to what karma really is. He says, I'm just simply trying to teach you, I guess, a universal rule, a universal law, that which you put forth will indeed come back to you. So if you don't want negativity coming back to you, then don't indeed put negativity forth in the world. And the man kind of sits back and adjusts what he says and says, oh, so you're simply saying it is whatever we believe, really? Yes. And he continues, the man continues, and you are saying this is your version, kind of yes, he says, that is what I'm saying. So take it forth into the world, he says, Whitehawk says, and see, try it on, he says, see how it fits. Try being nice and see if nice comes back to you. Try being negative and see if negative comes back to you. See if that's a fit. See if it happens. He says, play with it. You don't always have to take my word for it, children, he says. Go experiment and play in your day. And you will see, he says, how it pays. So everyone's kind of sitting around the campfire listening to what he's saying. And now we're ingesting it. And we're kind of gone within ourselves. And he says, yes, children. At this point, I will leave you so that you may write down your thoughts. So you may write down your thoughts and your needs in a journal, he says, and see what you can come up with for play. God bless, he says. Do not think too long and hard on this, he says. Simply allow it to come in like a breeze, he says, and to go back out. He says, I've given you a lot to think about, he says, as he watches us as we're all pondering. Don't anything too hard. Simply allow it to be. God bless children on your newfound knowledge of karma here today. God bless. God bless you, son. Thank you, Whitehawk. Thank you. Indeed, he says, oh, sorry, I was just looking at to see how long my video was, so I got a little off there. So that was our reading for karma. So it's a little interesting. I think I'll be taking some time to ingest that too and see how I feel. But I do kind of believe the boomerang thing because I've seen it happen. And like I said, boom, just like that. So go journal, write, be aware in your life and see how the karma bus works for you. Anyways. All right, so we'll see you on, this is what I wanted to mention. So I believe it'll be Sunday nights. I'm going to try and aim for Sunday nights to get the weekly readings out. Because I was taping on Monday and I just feel like I need that Monday morning to decompress. So I'm going to aim for Sundays. So hopefully I get it there Sunday. Please let it be that it works out, that I get it up for Sundays. If not, it'll be there on Monday. So Monday is our weekly reading and we will see you then. Until then, I'm Tracy for Chandler's Channel. God bless. Subscribe, like, share, comment. You know the drill. See you soon.